here with Kande Discussion. I'm Unrestricted D.
I'm Kande.
And we have Miss Qualamia Collins.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right, tonight she will be talking to us about emotional growth. Emotional growth, as she stated earlier, if you didn't catch it earlier in the show, could be a very broad topic. Covers several different forms of growth within a person.
And we get emotional intelligence, emotional
maturity, and emotional development. Yeah.
So you get to take your cliff notes. All right.
1 out of 3 ain't bad.
All right. So while on the break, one of our friends put something on the live chat. She said, "How do you deal with when someone wants you to adapt to habits that they have that are important to them but aren't willing to give you a chance to adapt to those changes?" She said, like you said, shouldn't you want to give the other person a chance to change? After all, they've been who they are for however old they are. And that was her thoughts. That was from Keisha. Keisha also has a radio shout out to, so shout out to her to actually take the time and listen to our show.
Cool.
So I'm speculating because she didn't really get into details, but I guess maybe a habit of that one may think could be kind of negative, or maybe on the borderline of negative, maybe. For instance, like maybe smoking, and we discussed maybe drinking. There is a, even though it may come out funny, but people do have porn habits. So maybe one doesn't like porn and the other one does, but they might try to get them to
watch it with them. Yeah.
What else things could you?
Not negative, but exercising.
Yeah, that was the first one I thought of, working out.
That's what I thought of when I said it.
Because I know a lot of guys. You said that was a girl, right?
Yes.
That asked that. I know a lot of guys. I literally hear them say in Facebook groups, for the most part, that they would like for their girl to work out because they do. And I'm like, well, that's what you want to do. I don't understand why they would want them to do that with them. Not saying why they would want them to do that with them, but to the point, that it almost becomes a requirement in a relationship. Like, my girl has to work out.
You find a girl at the gym.
I mean, I don't want to talk about that because we talked about this on another show and it got kind of heated.
Oh, okay.
But, I can see your point, and I can see there is. Hold on, somebody responded. Oh, she said, "Ding, ding, ding! You all were correct." She said, "Exercise was exactly what she was referring to."
Yeah, because we're women, so we know. That's
but
what
exercise is important. I mean,
but exercise at your level and your pace. That's the issue. A lot of men want you to. First of all, you get with a girl that's overweight, and not to say your friend is overweight, but let's say you get a girl that's overweight. She's been overweight for the past 20 years. Now you get with her, you like her enough to talk to her, but now after 6 months you want to change her. She don't want to change.
Or she may want to, but she may not be ready.
Yeah, and then sometimes you at a different level than she is. She's down here, she's in a pup stage. You in a Billy Badass stage, and now you're trying to get her to that level, and she might not be able to compete with you, work out with you at the level you want, and then she feel ashamed or have these type of feelings that she can't express to you. So that's why it's kind of hard for females.
Not to get too much off topic, but we're going to talk about it because I knew this was going to happen. Just for the fact that, okay, he might be Billy Badass, but he might be just trying to get her to be Billy Goat Raw. Just kind of, just jump in it and try it. She may be stuck on, I'm not saying it's going to keep shit, but the woman may not just be trying to do it at all. And he may be seeing her in so many words, and please don't write any hate mail towards me, ladies, but he may be seeing her kind of going to waste per se. And this does go vice versa for male and females, because there are very fit females that want their males to be fit as well. So
I'll let the expert handle it, because you already know what I'm saying.
All right.
I believe that there is sometimes you have to lead by example. And I will say this, within our relationship and then within our marriage, I do sometimes say, you know, at one point, one of us got to lead by example. If I want to argue and she just want to listen, that is, to me, kind of leading by example, because next argument, maybe I should listen while she argues. You know what I'm saying? So I just think in that case it's kind of maybe a lead by example, but don't necessarily mean you're going to do it, but you may be prompt to want to do something.
Like I said, inspired.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a couple comments on mine as well. So, and they have good points. They say being healthy is important, and there are many illnesses as a result of being overweight. So I do understand the person you're with to be healthy.
Yes.
You want them to be alive as long as you or longer. So I get that. I didn't get that was the purpose from that question though. One question I had for her though is like, what does she mean about he's not giving her time to change? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm going to the gym at 7, you better be ready. Like, I didn't really understand that part.
Well, I don't know. I guess she seems to be pretty much fit. But she says, I'm willing to exercise it, but all I ask is to hold me accountable if it's important to you, and that goes for anything.
Right, and that
finances, exercise, health, etc.
That goes back to what you were saying about them being at different levels, right? So she may be at the point where she wants to try it, but she knows that he's like a rigorous, person. He does rigorous workouts, so she may not want to go with him. She may want to go by herself. And you also have a lot of people who are, I don't know how many guys are like this, but I know a lot of women. I'm talking about when they get ready, they know they want to go. They're ready at the point where they're ready to go, but they still feel, I guess, kind of insecure in the gym because they're just now starting their journey, and everybody else in there is all buff and got 6 packs, right? Because they go every day. So it's like it's not that easy. It's not just about the thing of the let's go. It's more than that. And she may not know how to express it. I'm not saying her specifically, right. But a woman may not know how to necessarily express that. She may feel that way and not know how to express it, and he may not even know it's a factor.
All right. So, always, as normal, when it comes to weight, we always get a little bit off topic. But let's bring it back to emotional growth. I think saying that's not part of emotional growth.
I think that does have something to do with emotional growth, being able to express that.
I don't want to people to go home and want to argue with their mate and all that stuff about that. I want them to go home and possibly learn from you ways to show or notice, per se, that they have emotionally grown within themselves. Of the broad topics that we...
Okay.
When do you feel like you yourself was emotionally grown? Show growth, rather.
I can say, for one, is when I stopped reacting to people. I used to be so sensitive. I feel like everything somebody said, they was trying to argue if it was a different opinion than mine, especially when you're on social media, even the people you don't know. You're like, no, I know I'm right. If you say something against that, then I have to go back and forth with you.
Right.
I don't do that anymore. If you feel different, that's fine. I may try to explain one more time just so you can understand what I'm saying, but I know now that people need a point of reference to process information. So it doesn't matter how you say something. If they're not ready to receive it, they're not going to get it. And it's not my job to convince them of what I say or what I believe to be true.
Did you ever block any of them?
No, I wasn't to that point.
I was going to say you didn't show your emotional maturity.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that bad, but I literally that's just an example. It could also be in the sense of having a relationship with somebody, even like a sibling or a friend. It's like, if we believe something different, I'm not going to be less of myself again, because I'm a recovering codependent. So I would make myself smaller to make somebody else feel bigger and believe that was somehow balanced. Like, I'm not doing that no more.
So,
a lot of people do that.
Yeah. To make that one individual seem like, I'm guilty of it myself.
I'll give you another one. Have you ever been around somebody that, because of how they respond to things, you tend to stay away from it? Like you don't want to cause friction or drama or a reaction out of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You know what I say to that? F their reaction. That's a reflection of them, not you. So you still have your boundaries, still say what you want to say. You know what I mean? And
So, never mind.
no. Go ahead.
Nope, not that show.
But I used to be that person. Like, okay, I know how they react, so I'm just gonna stay over here in the corner. Like, nope. But no, now I'm gonna be seen and heard regardless of how you take it, because that shows your lack of emotional maturity, not mine.
I think more so if I don't bring up something, I know it's a trigger for the person. So it's not that important to me.
Well, that's different. If somebody has a genuine trigger, and what I mean by that is they know and understand and have fully expressed that this is a trigger of mine. It's different if you identify it to be a trigger. Because how do you know that that's what that is? They have to identify it as a trigger in order for it to actually be a trigger. So I'm not going to, and that's exactly what I used to do. I used to say, well, that triggers them. I'm not going to do that. Well, if they haven't expressed to me that that's a trigger, then I'm just going to think they're behaving like a child. That's just how I'm going to look at it, because in 9 out of 10 cases, it's true. They don't know how to articulate.
But maybe sometimes people don't know what their actual trigger is. You know what I'm saying? You ever ran into someone that like everything like bothers them? Like,
and I stay far away from them.
It's air too clean. Like, you know,
the air too clean.
So I have a couple of signs. Can you tell me if you believe in these or not? It says 8 signs of emotional growth. Number 1, you let go of things that are bad for you.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I mean by staying far away from those people.
All right. So it says it's very important to learn to remove the things that harm us or hold us back from our lives. Number 2, you learn from your mistakes. Agree or disagree?
Absolutely agree.
Okay. We can learn a lot from our failures. It's good to make mistakes and know which things not to repeat. All right. Okay. Anyone do number 3?
You don't complain.
Now that's a tough one. I don't absolutely agree with that. I think that you have a right to complain. However, you shouldn't be complaining to the point where that's where all your energy's going. Okay, I have a complaint. Like you said, the air's too clean, but what are we going to do about it?
All right, so it's saying learning not to cry over spilled milk makes for a more mature person. If you take action to solve problems more and complain less, it's because you're growing.
Yep. Well, that's technically the same thing. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
You celebrate the success of others
instead of sit back and secretly hate on them.
Yep. It says applauding and being truly happy for someone else when something goes well for them is a sign of maturity. This means that you don't envy them, that you understand that they put forth a lot of effort, and you're able to recognize someone else's work.
Instead of comparing yourself to them.
You have less troubled relationships.
That's a no-brainer.
And it says learn to put yourself in other people's shoes. Try to arrive at agreement before confronting the other person. You learn that fighting is a waste of time. It's better to look for a solution together. You also realize that it's better to make peace than to be right.
Yes.
All right.
You're not afraid to ask for help.
All right, and it says do you agree or disagree?
I agree. That's a huge one, actually, bigger than what we think.
All right. It says you thought that asking for help was a sign of weakness and that you should avoid it. It's actually a sign of trust in others. You can't do everything yourself all the time, so it's good to be humble and recognize when you don't know something or when you need help.
You know what you want.
Yes. Yes.
So it's saying you're more aware of what you want to achieve in life, and even when you want to achieve it. When you're sure of yourself, you establish the rules of your own destiny, and you get your expectation for future down to a science.
Last but not least, you don't care what other people say.
They will put that one last. Now, how many people do you know that don't care about anything? They say it, but do they really mean it? Do their actions reflect that?
I care to a certain extent, me personally, but I care more of people that I actually respect and I love.
That's honest.
Like if I tell anybody, if I argue with you, it's because I care for you and I respect you and I love you.
And I value your opinion.
If I don't argue with you, that mean you don't mean nothing to me.
Yes.
So,
That's emotional growth.
it says,
Why did we argue though?
He like that word. I just think he like that word.
it says, the fear of what other people will say has kept you up at night many times. But now you're in a new stage of life. You're only interested in the opinions of people who want to help you and see you do well. Or in other words, constructive criticism from those around you because you already distanced yourself from toxic people.
Yep, because that was number one.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
It's coming up that time.
It's that time of
So we
day.
got 2 minutes. All right.
Well,
Let the people know how they can get in contact with you. You know, if they need your help, emotionally, growth. I would ask Kande the last two, but
well, it depends. If they just want assistance from a distance, they can go to my Instagram, which is at the Love Counselor. If they want
Love Counselor, one word.
the Love Counselor.
THE.
Mm-hmm. And that's also the name of my website, thelovecounselor.org. And that's where I show my services. And in the beginning, you guys read my bio. So you see that when I say unconventional methods of counseling, a lot of the barriers I was facing within our community was not having insurance, not being able to afford it, not being able to find one that they can trust and that's somebody of their same culture they can relate to. So I try to take away those barriers, and I do it through text, phone, video conference, or in person. You have all of those options at a very low cost.
All right, so if you missed any of that, you can contact me or Kande to get her information, if we can send you the right way. We have 1 minute to finish up. Kande, anything you want to say real quick?
Thank y'all for listening.
And I want to say, Kande, this was a very good topic, and you picked a very good guest for us tonight.
So articulate.
Thank you for having me.
I learned a lot myself, and hopefully our guests and our people did. Feel free to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And good night.
Yes. Feel free to follow us.
Thank you for having me.
One more time, The Love Counselor.
The Love Counselor on Instagram and thelovecounselor.org, the website.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, guys.